Good evening, folks. Phil Gallagher of ThrabenU here for another Legacy stream. Today's donation deck list comes to us from Robert R., who donated for 5-color Niv-Mizzet Reborn Yorion. Okay. There's a lot to process here. So we're an 80-card main deck so that we can play Niv-Mizzet Reborn. And this card, when it ETBs, you reveal the top 10 cards of your library, and for each color pair, you can put a card into your hand. And this is a very powerful draw engine when you play spells that look like this. So this deck is just full of the best multicolor cards that Magic has to offer, plus a couple of cantrips, Astrolabe, and Punishing Fire to go and round things out. So this deck is just stacked in terms of card quality. We can't even get the whole mana base on screen. There's a lot going on here. But we have a ton of basics. We have a basic for everything except planes, it looks like. Although we do have a nice Caracas up here. What? Hold on. Are you telling me they printed good cards in 2019 and 2020? Because I hadn't heard. Yeah. So like you can see the Uros and the Okos and such here. Very much going to be a staple of the deck list. And on that note, huge shout out to Bosch and Roll, Brian Koval, one of my podcast hosts, for lending me the set of Uros to round this out. Because when I looked at what I needed to finish this deck, it was almost $900. And I was like, oh, the card hoarder account does not cover that. So I borrowed the Uros, and then card hoarder had my back for the rest of it. Oh, no. Dak Faden is good in Legacy, too. I don't know if you know this, but Dak Faden and the card Punishing Fire have really good synergy together. You just bring it back with Grove of the Burn Willows, and then you can discard it again. Some like classic Legacy copy pasta. Okay. So we just have a whole lot of powerful cards here, and a few more powerful things in the sideboard. I think we're going to be very, very good against fair decks. I don't know how we're going to do against combo decks, as essentially an 80-card deck that has 6 Force of Will effects as our primary interaction versus combo. Rockanatus, thank you very much for your support. It is very much appreciated. I don't know that I have anything else to say about this deck. Like, I could focus on some of these cards. I guess I'll highlight Kaya's Guile, since this is like not very commonly played in Legacy. You choose 2. You get an Edict, a Graveyard Exile, a Spirit Token, or 4 life. If you end up paying 6 mana for this, you can instead get all of it. The other card of note is Bring to Light. You search your library for a creature, instant, or sorcery card with CMC less than or equal to the number of colors of mana spent on this card, exile it, and then cast it without paying its cost. So Bring to Light ends up being a tutor for all sorts of things. Notably, I suppose, for your Niv-Mizzet, but a lot of other times you might be fishing out a bullet like a Supreme Verdict, an Oko, whatever it is that you need. YouTube folks, if you would take a minute to like this video, I really would appreciate it. And if you're regularly around for the content, please consider subscribing. Let's go into round 1 and see how we do. Okay, so we are on the draw. My opponent has mulliganed. I'm going to go ahead and keep this hand. It has a Force of Negation and something that I can pitch to it early if need be. Ooh. Okay. I respect the Golos avatar here. All right, do you have relevant text here? Not really. Okay. Opponent is 2/2. Let's ruin their league. I mean, I do have an Oko, so we've got a shot at ruining their league. I don't know that I actually care about this. Like, I don't have that many 1-drops, right? I have 11. My plan has shifted to now I will just, like, play 3-drop tribal versus your deck. Alright, so Thought-Knot Seer doesn't get Force of Negation, unfortunately. That's okay. Like, opponent has some tough choices ahead of them. Bye, Oko. I'll miss you. Ooh, Assassin's Trophy is probably pretty good. So I could play Clothis this turn. And if I draw a land, I just get to play Niv-Mizzet next turn and do disgusting things. I'm trying to figure out if that's better than just, like, Assassin's trophying the Thought-Knot Seer or one of their other things. I think it is. Yeah, I can Kaya the Chalice, and then, like, Kaya just dies. Is that good? I don't know that that's actually good. We'll see how this mana base holds up. We're not on an Astrolabe hand, and I'm also not on track to Astrolabe. I don't, I don't really feel danger. Um, I think I am going to Force of Negation this, but oddly, it's primarily just to put a card into my graveyard so that I don't have to eat this land if I don't want to. Yeah, so I think we're just going to try to draw a land next turn. I'll just eat the Force of Negation now. What do I want to do with Assassin's Trophy? Do I just want to... Oh, not cast it, because I have the wrong colors of mana. Oh, I also can't cast Kaya. I think I should have thought this turn through a little bit more. I was so concerned about keeping that land so I can rip a land and cast Niv that I actually made my mana kind of bad. Okay. Yeah, I think this was probably the wrong play last turn. I should have fetched something that did black. Alright, now we're going to Assassin's Trophy that, so we're very thankful that we still have the Assassin's Trophy. Oh no, I guess this is gone. Alright, there are some problems now. Land, 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 land! Okay, great. Alright, so I need something that's black here. I probably want to get the swamp. I don't think I need more blue than what I have, and I want to have access to snow mana in case that Chalice ever leaves play. Last turn I had the option to eat a land from my graveyard, and I didn't. My opponent may have one basic wastes if they copied the same list that I copied. Ooh, does it only make red or green? Ooh, it only makes red or green mana. That's true. Good catch. Oh, I don't like this. This is probably an Olamog, which eats 2 of my lands and I'm dead. Hey, do you think I should bounce it so that they can do it again? Or do you think I make them tap their own Karakas so that they can do it again? Alright. I'm going to have to be more cognizant about my mana choices in games where I don't have Astrolabe, for sure. I like Swords to Plowshares for Eldrazi. Don't remember what this card does. Okay. I think I like Pernicious Deed. Is it Charm? Is probably not going to do things a lot of the time. The Life from the Loam is probably eh. But like, this card is... Well, I guess this card exiles Chalice, and that's relevant sometimes. My Punishing Fires can pressure Planeswalkers. This is going to be kind of awkward. I think I need more cards to board in, so I think I'm going to end up boarding Meddling Mage. Maybe for, like, Olamug the Ceaseless Hunger. Sacrifice side of this is pretty good. Punishing Fire really is only going to be good if I can double Punishing Fire in a turn, because then it kills Thought-Knot Seer. Maybe these are supposed to go. Like, board a Plague Engineer, put it on Eldrazi. I guess it trades with Reality Smasher and Thought-Knot Seer. Maybe Dax steals a big dumb artifact every once in a while. Sideboarding, weird. After one game of this, I'm guessing that the games with Astrolabe are going to feel a lot better than the games that don't have it. Okay. I know what I just said. Like, the words literally stopped coming out of my mouth just now, but, like, we need another land to get us started. Oh, okay. I think I also made a misstep last game. I passed the turn one time when I had 4 mana available, I think. I should have put a Yorion into my hand. This is game 2 of round 1, so you didn't miss much. I'm down a game. I don't think I brainstorm now, because there's worlds where I want an Assassin's Trophy. And my opponent showed me a Wastes, so I don't just want to Assassin's Trophy their land ASAP. I think I'm going to give them Monolith because I can just Assassin's Trophy most of the things that they put in play, or Force of Will most of the things. I think I want to have this later on in the game. Like, the hope is that this gets tapped, and then it's not that big of a deal. Ilugan is annoying because now my opponent can Reality Smasher as well this turn, which would be a nuisance. It looks like that's all that's happening this turn. The post-combat Reality Smasher? What the fuck? That card has haste! I'm chalking that one up to a misclick. I cannot imagine anything else there. Oh god, there's Mana Confluence in this deck. Okay. I want something that makes black mana with this, I guess. It is just spell, right? Yep. Well, you love to see that. Grove of the Burn Willows. Alright, so I have some degree of protection in this Assassin's Trophy available from what my opponent can be doing. The big thing that scares me is if they can get to 10. Yeah, between Assassin's Trophy and Oko, I'm not actually all that scared about that. We'll see if like they have some tutor target. Oh, just the liquid metal coating. Yeah, that is not spooky right now. Alright, so do I want to Assassin's Trophy the Karn? / when do I do it? I think I just do it now, rather than wait for them to play liquid metal coating. I don't want them to, like, change their mind and tutor and get another card out of this. There might just be some world where they have a second Karn in hand, and that's why they got the liquid metal coating. Opponent is at 14 already. Bye, Yorion. That's honestly not that big of a deal. Yorion Stripopile is a close description. We're a little spicier since we have the Niv-Mizzet, but more or less, yeah. I think I actually just want to make a 3/3. And if they attack my Oko, I will crack them back. And we can fight the battle that way. Blast Zone is legit. That is correct. I won't get the card. So I'm hoping to draw a removal spell for it, or like answer it in some other way, so that I don't have to just elk it. But we're finding the lands in the deck. And now I need to elk this. Which is not what I want to be doing. But protecting this Oko is just too important. My opponent didn't tick up Blast Zone? Oh, that's why. I could have named one of my fetch lands instead of the Oko. The next turn my opponent is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. My opponent could just like start tutoring, which is very much not good for me. Am I the beatdown or am I the control? I might be the beatdown, since my opponent has very good inevitability in play. I think I'm going to take this hit. All right, Brainstorm. You're looking real good here. Bail me out. We're just going to play a couple of Uros. I think we're just going to play a couple of Uros. I guess 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. If I keep one land, I could play the Uro and return it. All right. I probably need to think about these lands. One of the lands that I fetch theoretically should be green. I guess I have this. I maybe want to leave lands in there, so I have a better chance of drawing a land with an Uro. All right. Green. Should work. Oh, Bring to Light. That's saucy. All right. Blue, green, green, blue. Return in a row. So my opponent can do something big and dumb like cast an Eldrazi. But outside of that happening this turn, I think I'm pretty okay. I don't know exactly what the Bring to Light is going to do, but it'll do something. Oh geez, they just had the Ulamog in hand. That's actually devastating. Oof. So the Caracas here is really problematic. Because if I do something to get rid of the Ulamog, my opponent just bounces it. Deck list? And Ulamog is indestructible, correct? Is indestructible. So this is how I could theoretically get it off the table, but then I'm just going to lose 2 more permanents. Dead? I have things that can answer this, but not in conjunction with the Caracas. So, like, I can bring to light for Swords to Plowshares, but then my opponent just bounces it. Alright. Oh, wait, hold on. I need to actually pay a color. This matters based on colors. So let's go green, blue, red, white, black. Done. And let's spin the wheel with Niv-Mizzet and see what happens. Maybe getting multiple cards will end up being good enough, because I don't think any one card on its own is good enough. Oh, we just get one Orzhov card, huh? Oh, it auto-selected the Meddling Mage, I see. So, I guess I go blue. Oh, this puts me to 13. Shit. Chat, there's a Sorcerer Spyglass on Oko. By Meddling Mage, my Niv-Mizzet gets bounced. Okay, I think I have to play towards them not seeing that my big dumb card that doesn't see much legacy play is a legendary creature. Ulamog. There's our comma there. Ceaseless Hunger. I think if this Niv-Mizzet gets bounced, I'm more or less... Oh, it didn't get bounced. I'm more or less dead on board. Yes. Yeah, if my Niv-Mizzet got bounced, my opponent just attacks in for 13, and then I lose the Meddling Mage, and then they just, like, Caracas and blow through my stuff. Maybe I'm supposed to chump block with the Niv-Mizzet there, in case they have a Walking Ballista they can tutor up and shoot me for 3. Dragon Avatar. Alright, so my opponent has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana towards Eldrazi. And I didn't count Ayavugan, so it's really like 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, yeah, they did have Walking Ballista. Womp womp. They can only do it for 2. But that seems pretty good. That also could just kill Meddling Mage, and then they can, like, Olamog, derp. So... yeah, I can Drown in the Lock, kill this. They shoot Meddling Mage in response. Alright, I'm gonna make them do it. Because if this goes at my face, there's maybe worlds where I can stay alive. They saw the line. Oh, hold on. Alright, I need another black mana. I don't know whether or not Misty Rainforest fetches something that's black. Okay, hold on. Do it all if I pay 6 mana? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, let's do it all. Okay. We are miraculously, like, not technically dead, and we're putting my opponent to 2. This is going better than expected. I can now rip Punishing Fire and kill my opponent. Fuck. It's in the sideboard! That's awkward. Surely there's some other things in this deck somewhere that do direct damage. Surely. This thing's indestructible. I need, like, Swords to Plowshares. And the Caracas is tapped. Force of Will. Damn! I just watched Airplane. That movie is A+ solid. But womp womp for this round. Round 2 is starting with an awkward hand. It has an Astrolabe, but not the snow mana to cast it, so I think I need to go ahead and throw this one back. This hand is much better. Seeing as we're basically a 3-drop tribal deck, I think I need to keep all of these, so I'm going to keep and throw back Assassin's Trophy. Alright, so we are playing against Death on Taxes. We have a bunch of stuff that can really go over the top of this deck, but if my opponent has a mana denial package that really takes off the ground, it will obliterate me. Tundra isn't a snow permanent. Let's cancel Tundra. No more Tundra for anyone. So this Force of Negation is the card that I want to pitch to Force of Will. Force of Negation is very unlikely to do anything meaningful this game. And I think so that I can Brainstorm and Fetch on my turn, I'm just going to go ahead and Force of Will Thalia. That Thalia is pretty likely to sit in play for most of the game if it resolves, and I think that's just going to be too much of a tempo loss for me to take. Swing with Mom, you won't. Alright, good call. And thank you very much for your continued support. Hope you're enjoying the content. I think I'm going to put Izzet Charm back and put Polluted Delta on top. I think I'm going to end up redrawing that Polluted Delta. I think I just want to keep making land drops. Mom being in play is kind of a bummer. It means that I actually have to answer these sorts of things on the stack. Unlike this. So my current plan is put Dak Faden in play and loot through my 80 card deck looking for one of my 3 copies of Punishing Fire and go from there. Mana's awkward. I think I want basic lands, which means I have to take Forest here. A new Astrolabe. Don't really need that. I think I'm a little bit too far away to greed keep this. Hopefully I don't just eat like a Skyclave Apparition here. Get a Batter Skull for me to take. They got a Batter Skull for me to take. My opponent is losing a lot of time to their upkeep stops. Or their upkeep stops on my upkeep. Well, the issue with keeping Niv is that Niv costs 5, and this is my turn 4 now, so I'd have to keep it for 2 turns in a row, which I really don't want to be doing. Like, I want to play something, like, say, a Supreme Verdict or something of that caliber this turn. Not really a great brainstorm. I'm gonna go ahead and cast it in case I, like, find another Planeswalker or Punishing Fire. Is this Punishing Fire actually good? It's very good with Dak next turn. So Oko is strong. If they leave back double Mom, this Punishing Fire isn't actually good. If they leave back single Mom, the Punishing Fire is fine. I'm just gonna go ahead and get rid of this. Yeah, there's free card draw, but the loss of tempo is gargantuan in order to capitalize on that card draw. Am I making a 3/3? I might be making a 3/3 this turn. I'm going to make my opponent's life awkward. The good news is I have some gas on reserve because of the Yorion. I don't know that I can actually sit back and wait a turn to, like, keep the Punishing Fire around, because there's so many things that my opponent can do that are just really spooky. Oh, wow. Both. I wish I had the Punishing Fire now. That is a no fear line. And I know their last card is Batterskull. No, it's not really weird being on the other side of the D&T matchup. Like, I understand it very well. Oh, buddy. That's a pretty good card. How do I play this turn? I can Elk Stoneforge Mystic, force them to put in Batterskull, take Batterskull. That might be getting too cute. I should maybe just Assassin's Trophy the Batter Skull and, like, not mess around with, like, the double Mother of Runes situation that's going on here. There's a world where I'm supposed to elk a Mother of Runes this turn because I can. I am not going to do that. I'm going to assume that if I drag this game on, I pull ahead with all my BS. Do I need to elk now? Or sorry, do I need to Assassin's Trophy now? Yeah, I probably do. I think this dance is easier than trying to steal it with Dak while dealing with, like, Germ plus double Mother of Runes. Alright. I'll find something else to get. Oh, no, no, you don't want to do that. Oh, you're gonna attack my Dak down now with everything? Okay. And Oko. Second Oko is legit. But I have better things that I can find. Green, green, blue, blue? Green, green, blue, blue. Junk 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Done. I think I'm elking the sword. We'll see if I draw something off of Uro that somehow changes my mind. Dredge? No dredge. Oh wow, I even have, like, Force of Will now? Nice. It's tempting to try and get a Mother of Runes, but let's just junk that. I have Force of Will for whatever it is my opponent top decks, and I have something kind of annoying in play. Am I talking about the Uro or the Oko? It's so hard to tell. What a card. My opponent can use a Mother of Runes in order to kill Dak Faden here. I guess they still can. Now that Dak's gone, I don't know that I dredge. I think I just take a random draw. Caracas is a thing. You attack. You don't trample or anything, but you gain me 3 life for attacking. Kind of confused about why I didn't get hit with Rashad Port in my upkeep. Just throwing that out there. This is a Flagstones, not a Caracas. This is the one where if it goes to the graveyard, you get another land. Guess it looks a little similar to the, like, alternate art Caracas. I don't know what my opponent's thinking about. I will make myself a 3/3. I will play Caracas. I will put Yorion into my hand, and we'll call that a turn. My opponent should have Rashad and ported one of my lands down there. I guess it... Yeah, like, it matters if they draw a legendary creature. Alright, my opponent's just done. That's fair. I think that game's pretty far from over. Wait, hold up. That was game 1? So my opponent had Council's Judgment in game 1. Interesting. Don't know how I feel about that. In a vacuum, I don't like it, but maybe it's fine. I don't think I love Force of Negation. And then most of the rest of my deck is removal. Bring to Light is like another copy of Supreme Verdict. I don't think I can cut that. I don't think I need Force of Will. Except when my opponent has Mother of Runes, then I like very much want Force of Will. Oh, Kaya will be good, yeah. Part of me wants to board out a little bit of stuff that's graveyard oriented in case I get hit with Rest in Peace. So I think that's at least one drown. Can I just play 100% fair? No, we're not cutting the nibs. Are you crazy? Look at how fun this card is. Look at how many colors are in its cost. How can we cut it? I think I actually want to go down 2 of those. Yeah, I mean, we have to have some fun things to apologize for Oko and Uro. I'm just worried about, like, keeping too many cards in the deck that get hit by Rest in Peace. And once Rest in Peace is in play, Drown is pretty embarrassing. Keep. Mana's not really great with this hand. But I have an answer to a turn 1 Mother of Runes. Not to a turn 1 Ether Vial. Please draw land so that I don't have to think as hard. That's technically a land, but I really wanted a blue one. If I fetch Tundra, I get super Omega boned by a Wasteland, but I really want Tundra. So I cast Swords to Plowshares. I think I'm gonna fetch Tundra and then try to ponder into more land or like a Force of Will or something. In the best case scenario worlds where I don't lose a land, these cards are insane. But in a world where I get disrupted, I can't keep this. Yeah, Arkham's Astrolabe is better than those cards. We can win later. I just need to not die right now. Okay. Kinda exactly what I just talked about. The mom, in addition... Do you have 2 moms? Like... Do I have another White Source I can fetch? Nope. I'll need to try to answer that via Kaya's Guile. Awkward. Regal cheap. It took me a second to connect the dots. All right, they do have 2 moms. All right, so I can Kaya's Guile 1 away eventually. Hmm. That port is gonna be real good. I would have attacked with a mom there. On 1 mana, especially with Rishadan port, it's gonna be very difficult for me to answer 2 moms. Awkward brainstorm? I think I awkward brainstorm and just like eat it if they have Spirit of the Labyrinth. Oh god, yes. Yes. Let's get rid of Is It Charm and Force a Will and keep the rest of this. Oh, I guess I needed to think about the order of those since it's my upkeep. Which one of those did I keep? I hope I kept the Force of Will. I did keep the Force of Will. Don't have Leon and Arbiter? Draw a blue card? I mean, I gotta narrate the worst case scenarios, right? Like, those make for the best clips. Oh, no 2-drop. That's weird. That's really weird. And that, like, means they have Flicker Wisp and they're willing to telegraph it. Do I want to force this Wisp into play? I could force the Wisp into play by Source the Plowsharing. And then Assassin's Trophy, the Wisp, or Vial. I can also just, like, end step, pass priority. Yeah, I'm just gonna let this go. They could get greedy here and, like, hit this. What a bad draw. Am I playing Grove? I think so. Interesting. I'm just going to go ahead and take this opportunity to fetch. Just kind of nip out an Aven Mind Sensor if something like that is there. No, I'm just going to go ahead and take this hit. See if I can get a bigger prize. I go for Assassin's Trophy on Rishadan Port. I can get Plague Engineer plus Swords to Plowshares on my turn. Oof. So there's my 2-for-1, and I still have Swords to Plowshares and Force of Will available. Yeah. I'm having such difficulty reading my opponent. I just don't understand the lines that they're taking. Do I care? Like, this thing did work already. Like, is this better than Dak Fade and take their Ether Vial? You can have it. Well, That nets me a mana. Ooh, Clothis. That's pretty good too, but I'm just gonna take their Vial. This does drop me off of Force of Will, but I am shooting for free Yorion in a turn or two. Which should be just gross. I don't know, maybe it's, well, there's the Caracas, but like, if they have to Rashad port themselves every turn to keep answering a Yorion, and it keeps like blinking my planeswalkers and resetting in their loyalty, it's super cool. Yeah, I was gonna get to like Vial in Clothis in my upkeep, tick up Vial to 4, and then go from there. Okay, I have a Life from the Loam based hand that also has a Punishing Fire and Grove of the Burn Willows, so I'm going to keep this, and then my opponent will just like cast Dark Ritual Doomsday, and I'll die. Not exactly Dark Ritual Doomsday, but we're playing against depths, so our hand does literal 0. And is also not poised to do anything anytime soon. X-Mage me harder. We're getting Thought Seized. So this is goodbye Punishing Fire. We can return it with Grove of the Burn Willows and have a Pyrrhic victory. I need to keep Punishing Fire up in this turn cycle, so that if my opponent does play Vampire Hexmage, I can Punishing Fire it, and then rip Oko to answer a Merit Lodge. I don't have a Slaughter Games. I have Unmoored Ego, which is somewhat similar, I think. I have a Snowland, so I can kind of get whatever here. Pick up a Tropical Island. And then get something that makes some black. Underground Sea. Now we have everything except white. Crop rotation the Urborg away for Thespian stage. And let me rip the Oko to punish this timing. Let me do it. I did not do it. Well. Concede? I think you're supposed to do that in the end step. It gives me one more draw towards a counterspell, but it means that I can't rip Oko or another sorcery speed answer to Merit Lodge and have it be effective. The British did every wrong. Thank you very much for following. I'm not sure what the British ever did to you, but hopefully you have a speedy recovery from it. All right. Margaret Thatcher. All right. Surgical Extraction in Swords of Plowshares in... You can put this on Vampire and stop Vampire Hexmage. So this will come in. These will come in. I don't think Supreme Verdict is usually going to be good. Junk. 22 though? I don't know that I Deed. Deed seems really slow against their deck. My deck seems slow against their deck, to be honest. I have no idea how to sideboard. Like, I'm pretty comfortable with the stuff that's coming in. Of these, only Surgical is dicey. But stopping the combo once and then not having to deal with it again is a pretty big deal. I just like not want to be on Punishing Fires. One Niv. Alright. We'll go down a Niv. I accept that. How much does this do? Gains life, gets rid of Reclaimers. Or artifact mana that's played out. Oh, I'm at 82. One Drown in the Lock, and one more Uro. It probably should have been a Dak Faden instead, but eh. The Six-Lander Assassin's Trophy hand is on the table. Ship. This hand is pretty medium, but against some starts, it has text. Losing the Meddling Mage here is kind of big game. I don't hate that. But I really don't want to have to Force of Will. Force of Willing means I lose Dak, and Dak plus Punishing Fire and Grove of the Burn Willows is Chef's Kiss good. No, not my Meddling Mage! Get some dual lands in play. Alright, Dak. You have some work to do. Oh, that's very good. Discard Punishing Fire and a Mountain. So now I have some insurance plus a loot engine. Oh no. Am I getting Veil of Summered? Oh, I'm getting Flusterstormed. Well, I feel dead. Tom's deck, too strong. Well, that was awfully rude. I needed those for dacking. Kaya's Guile would be sick. That gets me out of this current situation. And Oko could get them. It could get me out if they do it sorcery speed. I think they're supposed to do it at instant speed, though. Oh my god! Yes! That was absurd. So I really should have put the Yorion into my hand, I guess, prior to doing the deck. I don't know, like, there's so many draws that make me want to not put the Yorion in my hand there. That's tricky. Alright, so now they're gonna find a wasteland. And wasteland my Caracas. I think you're supposed to wasteland the Caracas on your own turn there. What does Bring Delight do? Bring Delight can get Kaya's Guile. I target my opponent and kill their Hex Mage. That's not bad. That might be one of my better lines for this turn cycle. There are other things that I can do, but those get killed by a Sajiri step. I guess I can start here. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, and you know what? We'll give them the 1 life to go all 5. So because my opponent doesn't have more than 1 creature in play, this allows me to kill the Hex Mage without, like... Oh, that's pretty good. Alright, good value for my opponent there. They know that I have the Yorion, so they should probably wasteland me now. Yep. Oh, please don't have another Hex Mage. My fragile heart can't take it. This would be a great time to have those punishing fires. I don't think I'm in any immediate danger. I'm in long-term danger, for sure. Has to get Force of Willed. Unfortunately, pitching the Yorion. Otherwise, they get Thespian Stage and Womp Womp for me. Opponent has 2 cards in their graveyard. So this isn't a turned-on removal spell yet, but it's probably a turned-on counter spell. Hey, K Basso, welcome. And night to you. Alright, now let's draw like a Niv-Mizzet. Refuel. Would be cool. Please don't let me lose to Elvish Spirit Guide like this. Okay. I will fire that off. Okay. Let's go white, blue. So we'll shut off Vampire Hex Mages. There's still 3 of those remaining in the deck. And then we will technically gain some life here. We net 1 there. Oof. So that gets Thespian Stage. I was about to say, which can't be activated in this turn cycle, and then that happened. I need to find something that answers Merit Lodge while that Elvish Spirit Guide is still around. That is a tough ask. Unless... white, black, colorless. Oh man, do I lose this one because I tapped Underground Sea to cast that card? So white, black, colorless, and then I also need a blue, black, and I can only get one of the... Oh wait, no, what if I use this for colorless? White, black, colorless, blue, black. Yes, that works. No, I think this is like match 3 now. It's been a slog. Alright, so we don't get got by Flusterstorm here. Opponent doesn't have mana available. Each opponent sacrifices a creature. Colorless, white, black. Oh my gosh. This Kaya's Guile has done serious work. And then next turn we get to play Astrolabe into Oko. Really, really sweating it here. We have to try to do that again on the draw now, though. I think I like this other Punishing Fire, now that I see how important it is to remove another creature so that my Kaya's Guiles can actually have text. My opponent's not putting very many cards in their graveyard. I think these Drown in the Locks are less good than I thought they would be. I think I'm just going to board back in some life gain. Oh, that's 81. You can hang out there? You can hang out there. I don't know, maybe I should board out the Kaya for one of these two. So, my hand is fine. I think I am going to keep it. A lot of my hands... Oh, wow. A lot of my hands have just gotten shredded by discard effects anyway. So I'm just going to keep something that has a reasonable amount of land in it. I'm slightly surprised that my opponent is bringing in Leyline of the Void. Like, I think Graveyard Hate is totally fine and dandy against me, but I don't know that it's better than just keeping cards in their deck that get me dead. Ooh, a Kaio's Guile. So I think I want to Brainstorm and hide that on top. If I draw a Ponderer or an Astrolabe, it's fine for me to Brainstorm now. I think because of Flusterstorm, I'm going to go ahead and Brainstorm now. I like that. So I'll just bury one land. Oh, it can't be that land, though. Well, I guess it can. Arkham's Astrolabe is a hell of a drug. Yeah, let's bury a Mana Confluence and then hide Kaya's Guile on top. And I'm going to cast this Ponder with the intention of just keeping that land. Yeah, this is all fine. Alright, so now I have an Edict effect on top of my library. I have a bunch of stuff in hand. That's reasonable. I just need to pass the turn here, otherwise I'll lose to a Spirit Guide effect if my opponent has one. And now I can be looking at a Flusterstorm messing with me. We're gonna play Draw Go, but I think this Draw Go is favoring my opponent right now. We have to do this the good old-fashioned way with Punishing Fire, I will. I don't know that that card actually matters. That resolves. Sure. Okay. I don't think they have a Flusterstorm, or they would have left up City of Brass. I don't get to bring it back to the Leyline. That's just so sad. Alright, so is this an Oko turn? Seems pretty safe for this to be an Oko turn. I do. I'm on the Eternal Glory podcast. We're recording our next episode. Ooh, I need this, right? There are worlds where I need this because of the Wasteland. I have double mana confluence. I'll go ahead and just make a food. Yeah, I do the Eternal Glory podcast with Brian Koval and Bryant Cook. Oh, that's a weird concession. This was still very much a game, in my opinion. Like, I can go to the point where my opponent has to attack me twice with Merit Lodge, but I don't think this game was locked up yet by any stretch of the imagination. But I can understand if their hand is just full of land or something like that, why they might have conceded. I might have forgotten to hit record, so my bad. You lost the first 30 seconds of this match. We are playing against Goblins, and I Force of Willed an Ether Vial on turn 1. That is all that you have missed. Would Stifle be worth considering in this deck? I think in an 80 card deck, Stifle is not particularly appealing. Excuse me? Because you can't, like, find it on time. Well, this is how we're gonna beat whatever happens over there. This is it. I need to live a couple of turns, which is dubious. Let's see how bad this is. Oh, I know. I have played enough Muxus in Historic to know what happens when that card hits play. Okay, that's fine. That's also fine, although the two of those together are a little spooky. Fuck! Two, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 damage. Do I just Assassin's Trophy Rishadenport? Hope to spike a land in one of two draws? I guess I don't have to make that decision now, since I have double Astrolabe. A lot of Assassin's Trophy. I think I probably end up Assassin's Trophying Rishadenport and just like Yu-Gi-Oh! Heart of the Cards, believe in the land. I could just Punishing Fire the Pile Driver. It's really interesting if my opponent doesn't have another land now. I think they have another land. I guess I already have like white, white, blue, blue. I'm just gonna get Tundra. I like casting Punishing Fire off a card that doesn't tap for red. You know. Just feels special. Oh god, Matron for Muxus. This is the end. Okay, there's a Skark Prospector, there's a Goblin Crater Maker. I think it's those bottom four. Alright, my opponent gets to port me. I think if my... Yeah, that's a good line. I think my opponent blows up an Astrolabe, ports me once. That takes me off of Supreme Verdict. And I think just leaves me dead. We'll see if we would have drawn the fourth land. Or the line where I just ended up Rishaden porting. Or, sorry, blowing up the Rishaden port. Fuck, I would have. So I think if I was willing to take a whole bunch more damage, I potentially end up being able to Supreme Verdict this turn. Yeah. Rough. We'll go ahead and scoop it up there. Since I know my opponent has another Muxus, I don't really think I'm getting through this. Alright. Swords in. Plague Engineer in. Will consider Loam. Deed in. Force of Negation out. I don't really think Kaya's Guile as an edict is particularly good. Let's board those out. Drown in the Lock is a little slow to get going. We're out 2. It's still an early answer to a Goblin Lackey as long as my opponent has fetched, which is only sometimes. Or down 2 of those. I would like to play first. I mean, this has a Pernicious Deed, so I will keep it. An early Goblin Lackey is a little spooky here. But I do get 1 redraw, so not the end of the world. This Astrolabe card is cheating. I just convert that into a land. It's really awkward to do that when I have like both Dak Faden and Pernicious Deed in hand. I don't know that I want to do that. Win with Goblin Lackey using this one easy trick. It's called Muxus. He destroys. Do I just YOLO this game? Get pounded by Goblin Lackey if my opponent has exactly it? Having a Vial is really good for my deck. Alright, I call YOLO. So if something bad happens, it doesn't matter. Alright. I respect my opponent tapping it, now I can't put in a 1-drop of my own, which is unlikely to matter, but it is one of those little things you want to be aware of. Goodbye, deck. My Pernicious Deed, awkwardly, is now slightly less good. I'm in a pretty good position here. That doesn't get countered by Is It Charm. Double Lackey and a Pile Driver. Hey Arkin, welcome. So let's Is It Charm and blow up this Hasty Maker. I'm just going to take that hit. Do I just blow up a Goblin Lackey? The 1-for-1 removal is not great. I'm trying to save Pernicious Deed until I can get a lot of value out of it at once. I think I cast this Assassin's Trophy. It's just awkward, because I'm like fueling my opponent towards being able to cast Muxus. Arc and the list has been okay, but slightly clunky. Alright, I don't mind this. This is indestructible. This is something I can deed away later. Yeah, Moses, this is not my vial. I stole it fair and square. Actually, I can just vial this in, which is gas. So I guess let's put this in my hand this turn. And then pass. Don't take my vial. I like it. I want my free Yorion. Alright, we don't get free Yorion, but I do get free Clothis, which is absolutely solid. This deed blowing up Astrolabe is awkward. It's not bad, it's just awkward. Oh god, Volrath's Stronghold. This is notably protection from blue. We have 3, 4. I have potentially 6 mana this turn. Is this for attacking goblins? It is for attacking goblins. I guess I can have 7 mana. I just play in flashback Uro. Blue, green, 1. Blue, green, blue, or green. Yeah, maybe I just play in flashback Uro. Let's go green, not green, blue. Don't put a land onto the battlefield. Blue, blue, green. My opponent is giving me crap for joining the dark side. You've joined the dark side? You were supposed to destroy the Sith, not join them. Alright, that wasn't particularly productive for them. So my opponent is just going to sacrifice one of these in order to get damage in with Goblin Piledriver, which makes sense. Ooh, they had another red elemental blast. We'll get that back later. I take a lot of damage here. I don't really know how I'm going to beat this Volrath Stronghold in the long term. This is real good in the short term, though. 1, 2, 3, 4. Leaves me with 3 other mana this turn. Guess that'll be an Assassin's Trophy. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. White. Maybe white. I just need to see what I need to do with this turn. So I can go white, blue, some other color. All right. It should be good. So let's just take some life this turn. Let's go you, white, and a colorless. Verdict away all of that. And now this is how I answer that. And we still have Pernicious Deed in the hole. Oh wow, opponent has exactly 3 mountains. Value. My opponent's also likely to just, like, play out their entire hand this turn since they have Goblin Warchief. And so I can get, like, another X for 1 with Deed. Oh, sorry, they still have a Lackey. This hurts. This is a lot of damage. Goodbye, Astrolabe, though. You served me well. Luckily, we get to keep Clothis because she is indestructible. I think it's a lady. Looks like a lady. Always yield to that. Alright, so my opponent has Goblin Lackey plus whatever they draw for the turn. Oh, JK. Matron is very good here. Matron can just get a Muxus that could be cast next turn, or it could just get something like a, yeah. Or it could get something like a War Chief or another Lord that could just give this stuff haste and attack in this turn cycle. Oh, I must have not counted or double counted something that hit play earlier. Alright, so I have 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have enough mana to do everything. So that means I should just convert this to life. Guess I can also be thinking about my Uro. I will be putting a 5th card into the graveyard. Is that better? Maybe this is better. Blue, blue, green, green. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I suppose I don't have another green source now that my Astrolabe is gone. JK, I have another green source. Alright, you remember that part where I said Astrolabe was cheating? I'd like to stand by that. Let's go green, blue, Oko. I think it just turns this into an elk. My opponent can Crater Maker that if they want. I haven't really stopped myself just dying to a good Muxus next turn, though. Not much I can do about that. Like, whatever happens off of Muxus happens off of Muxus. Munitions expert. Shalak Mons is not bad here either. Opponent still has so much life. Alright, I think I'm gonna put back 2 Misty Rainforests. Be attacking? Like, trying to find something good. I really need to play a card this turn. Yorion's right now. Get a snow-covered forest this time. No. Wander into something good. Niv-Mizzet Reborn? I mean, surely I have to cast that, right? Green, yeah. Alright, surely I have to cast that. Green, red, black, white, blue. Did I just whiff on 10 cards? Ah! My opponent says, doesn't tell me what you put in your hand. That's because I whiffed on 10 cards. Uh, oh god. Yeah, so we hit entirely monocolored cards. For insult to injury, we hit all of our Punishing Fires and Plague Engineers, too. Oh god. Goblin Matron, I must be dead somehow. I refuse to believe that I'm not dead now. I don't know how yet, but something must kill me. Yeah, Sling Gang Lieutenant should do it easily. My opponent attacks all out and then sacrifices the board. Oh, and it's Pashalik Mons, too. Oh, I didn't realize that was in play. So that means each one of these is worth 2. I am very dead. We're gonna let my opponent enjoy murdering me, though. So my opponent gets to sack their whole board, and I'm honestly not gonna make them click through it. GG's. I'm dead. That big goblin seems too good. Yeah, he's pretty legit. Alright, for the final round here, I have an okay hand. Keep. I have some early interaction versus various kinds of decks, but nothing really overly impressive. I am likely to lose the Is It charm here. as my, like, oh, I'm losing Clothis. So my first guess is that my opponent is playing some sort of depths deck. This is the cantrip, right? Creature, land, or planeswalker. Oh, Nissa Vital Force. Okay, like, JK, I have no idea what my opponent is doing now. It's shenanigans. I feel okay calling shenanigans. We're just gonna take our time, hang out, hold up some mana for a while. Ooh, do I play that though? Maybe I play that. Am I getting stifled off an astrolabe? Okay. Okay. I was about to lose my fucking mind. So I force a will up for this turn cycle. So I can snag something. Yeah, that's force a will worthy. Is it? It's real bad if my opponent plays a fetch land. Otherwise I just, like, is it charm it and everything's okay? I think it's too bad if my opponent plays a fetch land. One of these two. I think the drown in the lock. We're still a little early in the game. Well, I don't know what opponent's doing, but I respect it. I feel confident saying that. Another Uro? I think I want to, like, ponder and make sure I hit my land drop this turn. Aya's Guile seems bad. I have Assassin's Trophy for this Planeswalker. I'm gonna go ahead and just cast this. Gets me one card deeper. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, they're 5/5s. I thought they were 3/3s. This is a little less fine than I was giving it credit for. I am just getting domed for 7 here. Assassin's Trophy, this for 2 mana. Ooh, do I have an Is It Charm based line that's, like, really good this turn by any chance? I might be able to, like, Is It Charm Veteran Explorer and then do something cool. Sure. Let's take out that thing. I think those lands are fine for me. I can't Kaya's Guile. I was counting mana numbers, but not mana amount. So I guess my turn ends here. Okay, so this is until your next turn, so I don't really have to worry about that anymore. Alright. Life is not so bad. Until my opponent just, like, casts an Ugin or something. A Karn. Alright, that's pretty bad. Actually, it's not all that bad, is it? I just, like, bring to light for an answer to that. Blue, black, red, green. I think I'm just getting Assassin's Trophy. Yeah, I think I just get Assassin's Trophy with this. But let's cast it for 5 anyway, you know, flex a little. I've run them out of basic lands. Feels good. So I have Uro and my companion in the hole. That's fine. I just need them not to spike something super scary. That's fine. I just need them not to spike something super scary. Seems like I have succeeded. That probably means the remaining card is like a land or removal spell. Oh wow, Oko. I think I value this thing with life gain attached the most. Blue, blue, green, green. But a... Oh, wait, hold on. I don't really want to do that, do I? Yeah, I don't really want to do that. I think I'm okay without Astrolabe. The only question in this turn cycle was whether or not I should have like held up Force of Negation for a turn cycle in fear of another big Planeswalker. No cards in hand with their Oath of Nissa. That's rough. Not as bad as, oh, I don't know, whiffing on 10 cards to pick a random number, but rough. Uro plus Caracas is pretty good, I hear. So let's make this lose Death Touch. And then I'll crash in with the life gain machine. I'll put this one into play. Alright, opponent opting to protect their life total there. I'm gonna end up looting away this Caracas if I find anything decent. I think I want to keep the Caracas. Alright. I did not forget about Yorion, but I don't think I need it right now. I think it's more important to hold up Hardcast Force of Negation. I'm just going to end this in 2 turns via aggro. I'll put that into play. That's a valuable enough card in some instances where I do want that. Now I have most of my bases covered. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's just leave up these spells. I have lethal on board. I only need to counter one thing. I can't see how I can lose this game here. And that'll do it for game 1. The extra mana that my opponent gave us off of Veteran Explorer is pretty valuable for us. So I very much think something like Carpet of Flowers in his deck that can give us extra mana like that will be very strong. Honesty Jones, thank you very much for throwing your prime this way. Very much appreciated. Okay. What do I want versus this deck? I think I want Source of Plowshares for things like Tireless Tracker. I don't know that I want something like Meddling Mage. I don't know all of the dumb things that my opponent can play. Deed might be okay. I think my opponent's going to be slow at putting things into the graveyard. I think I'm going to trim Drown in the lock. And Kaya's Guile is pretty awkward, actually. There are going to be times where I don't want them to like choose which creature they sacrifice for Veteran Explorer and maybe some other things of that nature, like Academy Rector or Arena Rector. Maybe I'm keeping this in. My opponent does have blue, so like they do have Ice Fang Coatls, but I don't know that I actually want to play Pyroblasts. Like if all my opponent has is something like Ice Fangs, I don't. If my opponent has a giant pile of Okos that I learn about later, then I'll want Pyroblasts for game 3. This hand is unexciting but keepable. So this Force of will trade for their first card that's actually scary, and then I have a Ponder to do a little bit along the way. I'm going to leave my basics in my deck this time a little bit more. I have red, get black here. Rosa de Oro, thank you very much for following. Hope you're enjoying the content. Yeah. Let's go land on bottom. And then keep these other two. I feel medium minus about my current position. Would I brainstorm here? I draw one card that I'm going to put back. But I can potentially find an Astrolabe to play in this turn cycle. I'll do it. I'm not happy about it. That was too much land. I'm going to put back the snow-covered forest. And I probably don't need Mana Confluence. Shit, maybe I should have put back Tundra so I can fetch a Swords to Plowshareable source in this turn cycle. That ship has sailed, though. Well, that has to get Force of Willed. I think pitching is at Charm. Alright, I think I am going to want the Pyroblasts for next game now that I have confirmed the presence of Oko. Tropical Island? I don't have green. Well, I do have green, but I probably want more green at some point this game. Alright, doing a good job of finding the lands. That pile of stuff is not capable. Ugh! That's not good. Please just play a creature that I can Swords to Plowshares. Yes. Yes, that's fine. Alright. Yeah, that was big for me. I got some tempo back there. No! No more lands, you land salesman. You keep it in your homes. I have plenty here already. Alright, maybe two more though. Oh, play another creature. Maybe not that one though. Now my Supreme Verdict is awkward. Ah, we found another one. We're just playing a 4/5 Gynomad? I can't give them a Planeswalker right now with no answer to it. It sucks to not get like any Astrolabe value off of this or anything. But I have nothing here, and like playing this is also slightly awkward. In that it makes my Supreme Verdict in hand worse. I probably need to pick a basic here. So I have blue, blue. Let's get forest, so I have green, green without giving my opponent life. Not what you want to see. Yeah, I can't block that. My Yorion also can't really attack past Baleful Strix. Oh, another one. What if I Supreme Verdict and give them 2 Planeswalkers instead? Is that better? Is that better? Alright. Life's bad. Oh, shit. Emergency. Chat. Help. Yeah. And they get, like, another Planeswalker next turn. Alright, I'm dead. Not literally, but effectively. I don't come back from this. I guess I should... Let's Supreme Verdict on the way out. I want to see what Planeswalker friend they have for me. I would also like a couple of lands. You got Ugin, you got Nicol Bolas, you got Ugin. Alright. We can go ahead and concede there. That's fine. It's a legit line. It's not in your beginner's handbook. But I definitely just did it. Alright. And I'm going to be playing a bunch of, like, very awkward situational cards. Actually, is Pernicious Deed even good? Fine against things like Tireless Tracker, good against their Astrolabes, but bad against Veteran Explorer and the Rectors. Maybe let's get that out of there. Let's try this. I guess we keep. We have Brainstorm to kind of smooth out this hand. We're not really doing anything right now. But for a lot of these snow-type decks, a lot of times your hands start out kind of looking like this, and then they become very good after just a couple of turns. Like Kingdom for some mana acceleration, though. Airwave, well, that's not crazy. My opponent has a giant pile of Death Touchers, right? And against a giant pile of Death Touchers, I don't really know that having a 2/2 in play that can't really attack is enough when it only kind of shuts off some of their stuff. Especially when I have some things like Supreme Verdict in the deck as well. Which, now that we mention it, is also kind of awkward. Because I have 2 Brainstorms, I will fire one off here. Oh, these are good. I throw back double Mana Confluence. I'm 100% throwing back 1. I think I'm going to pitch for the Bring to Light. While Bring to Light is flexible, if I get to 5 mana, I think I want to be casting this thing that, like, maybe draws me 0 cards when I cast it. It's something with red here. Maybe red-blue. I would love, love, love something that could answer an Oko here. I will steal your Baleful Strix. That what's happening? I don't really love it. I could Brainstorm and Punishing Fire in this turn cycle instead, or I could play Clothis. If I play Clothis, I have guaranteed Niv next turn, which is cool. Maybe that's good enough to just do. Underground Sea? No, not Underground Sea. Let's get like Tundra or Trop instead. Tundra. Let's do Tundra. Alright, I don't like that I can't answer an Oko in this turn cycle, but I do like that I get to do the thing next turn. Alright, dodged Oko. I suppose I do have like my opponent's counterspells to potentially think about. Black, white, red, green, blue. Green, black, white, blue, red. Alright, let's go. Burrow. Assassin's Trophy. Yeah. Yeah, I like it. So we can steal a thing, we can shoot a thing, we have something that comes back if the board gets wiped somehow. Leyline of the Void. Okay, well, there was a reason to take Oko. But I think things are fine. Oh wow, just attacking? I don't know that you're the beatdown. But I respect the hustle. I have 4, 5, potentially 6 mana. Red, blue, colorless for Dak. Steal, land, Punishing Fire, and also hold up Brainstorm. I think I'll just take the damage here. Just hit him for 6. Hit him for 6 with the dragon. I don't even think I protect this Dak Vaden. Like, I'm okay with killing the Ice Fang Coatl end of turn if that's something that happens, but I want to be able to Brainstorm if my opponent plays a big scary Planeswalker. Yeah, that's fine. Opponent just takes 7 here plus the Clothis. All right, my opponent has given me the GGs in chat. We got there. Is this a 2-3 tonight or a 3-2? Oh, we 3-2'd. Fantastic. Okay. My overall thoughts on this are too many 3-drops. Without something like Carpet of Flowers or Noble Hierarch or Bird of Paradise in order to accelerate some of these things out, it felt like there were a lot of games where I just had an absolute wealth of resources, but I lacked the ability to deploy all of the cards that I was drawing. The games I won handily and decisively, and a lot of times the games I lost, I either flooded out or died with a whole bunch of cards still in hand. So if I were to play this again, I would either want some main deck mana dorks of some nature and then move away from, like, say, the Supreme Verdict, or maybe Carpet of Flowers in the sideboard. Yeah, Strifo, I think we've taken one step away from competitive and 2 steps towards shenanigans, and we ended up here. It was fun. Like, we did some very silly things a couple of times, and like being able to bring to light for Niv-Mizzet is pretty cool. Kaya's Guile did a lot of work versus the Merit Lodge deck. I want to give that card props where it was due. And I think there was a game versus, maybe it was Death and Taxes, where we drew this late and we got to Entwine. And this is something also that just might spike a game 1, like you get paired against Dredge or something and you nuke their graveyard and you just win. So overall, if you're looking to have a good time and you enjoy the gameplay of Snow and like you're ready to sit down for 3 hours to play a league, this is fine. But if you don't enjoy the Snow gameplay, then maybe taking another step or 2 towards fun is maybe not enough for you. YouTube folks, if you made it this far, please consider liking the video and leaving a comment if you have any thoughts about it, and I'll see you again soon, YouTube.